Hey,
Hi, sweet pea. Hi, sweet pea. Hi, sweet pea.
Stylist P. Hey, sounded great though.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of my YouTube channel.
What up with it? You a styling P. You ain't doing nothing, so you need to be. She stay flex with some pretty feet, and that hair be late, she beyond fleek. Like the vid and drop a comment, please. Sub to this and do one of each, cause the content fire. Do you feel the heat? No disappoints with styling P.
Hi,
Hey,
sweet pea. Hi, sweet pea.
hey.
What's up, sweet peas? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Styling P. And today, as you read by that title, I am here to give you guys the steps that I took to move out of state. So currently I am in Atlanta, Georgia. And I have to move, and I'm moving to Florida. So I'm moving to a different state, of course. I'm moving to South Florida. I'm moving to Miami, and I'm super excited about that. But this is going to be a big step for me, and I'm sure anyone that's moving out of state, it's going to be a big deal as well. So I just wanted to share with you guys my experience thus far in preparing to move out of state. Now, unfortunately, let me see. Let's just give it a run. Today is July 30th. And my lease ends in my apartment August 28th. I want to start it off. I actually started recording 2 months ago, so I don't want you to think it was super last minute, and that I'm saying that for the reason that you should not wait last minute to start preparing your move, especially if it's going to be out of state. I actually started preparing or filming about 2 months ago. But for some strange reason, I was just trying to recap the footage to see exactly what I discussed in those videos, and they're completely gone. But either way, that was said, just so you can know that you should not wait last minute to move, especially if it's out of state, because you have to deal with so much. First, I wanted to speak about housing. Where am I going to live? How did I go about finding somewhere to live? So on and so forth. So I've watched a couple of videos about moving out of state, in particular moving to Miami, and just to see or get ideas of how people decided to go about moving there. There's a lot of people that literally just picked up their stuff and moved there with no idea of where they're going to lay their head at. There are some people that pre-planned and had at least locked in before they actually moved. There are also some people that had a family member to live with or a friend to live with until they found where they were going to stay. Me personally, I wanted to have my apartment locked in before I actually moved there. I'm just that type of person. I can't be stressed about where I'm going to live, where I'm going to lay my head down, where my belongings going to go. I have so much stuff, and I have to make sure it's secure. So, looking for housing. There are plenty of websites and apps that can help you look for housing. I used the app apartmentlist.com, and I also use Trulia. I think that's how you pronounce it, Trulia. I also used, I think it's apartmentfinder.com. I also use, let me go to my emails because I have my emails set to send me emails every day. There's also like Zillow, depending if you want to do something more private. Now, I personally liked the app Apartment List because you can go in and you can modify every single thing from exactly what you're looking for, the floor plan wise, your rate or the price you want to pay, the type of lease. And on apartmentlist.com, I love that it kind of gives you it gives you all the details, and they even have a section saying like the nitty gritty, which basically tells you everything that you really need to know before moving in. What you're looking at paying a month, what would you need to qualify to be approved to move into that place. You can put an address in, any particular address, and it'll give you the distance that you would have to commute to that location. It gave me a lot of things, so I would highly suggest the app apartmentlist.com. You can also go to the website online if you're on your computer or laptop, tablet, whatever. So that is as far as living situations. As far as what happened in my particular situation, I used Apartment List, and I did go when I was in Miami. I visited a couple places. That's another thing. You want to have the time because you want to be able to go and check out these places prior to applying. So many, that's the good thing about Apartment List. It does give you photos, but we know that there are a lot of apartment complexes or even private owners. They go and post like the best angles of the properties, and entice you with that, and then you may get on site and realize like, okay, why didn't you post that? Or, it looks like this. So I wanted to make sure that I actually went and checked out the actual properties that I was interested in. So I made appointments for that. With the apps as well, it allows you to send a message directly to the property, and someone from there, a representative, will call and contact you and set up an update, or they may just call and you can talk to them on the phone. They can send you pictures and more pictures online, via email before you actually reach there. So I thought that was a good thing too. So I spoke with a couple properties. I said schedule some appointments to view the apartments while I was in town, and yeah, the pictures really fooled me. And I think that's the thing about moving to Miami. Let's see, how should I say this? It's either, in my opinion, and from what I've experienced thus far, it's either really, really, really good or really, really, really bad. As far as looks, as a young female, I want to make sure wherever I'm living, I'm going to be safe. I don't have to worry about people, scoping me out and watching me and, potentially doing something to me, to harm me, or break into my apartment while I'm away or something like that. So it's very important to make sure I'm safe. I'll just say that. So, and also be comfortable where I'm living. I don't want to see whatever. Let's not go into that. But like I said, in my opinion, from what I've seen, is either is really, really, really nice looking or is not so nice looking. And what I've noticed about South Florida, a lot of the apartments, if they're not new, they look like old motels. And I might insert like a couple pictures right here just so you can see what I mean by that. They look like old motels, and I'm not like, I didn't like that at all. So yeah, my visits to the apartments were not going well for me. I also, like I said, used the website trulia.com, and I thought I had the app on my phone. Oh, I do, truliarentals.com, and they actually have properties, and it's set up just like apartment list for the most part. It has the property, it has the rate it is going for monthly. It also has pictures and stuff like that. And if you see a unit that you're interested in, you can click, ask for details. But 9 times out of 10, the person that posted the apartment is probably like a realtor. And they can send you like a list of multiple properties that you can choose from. So, my experience. And I'm sorry I didn't vlog this. And I didn't vlog it just because I got so frustrated with looking at the properties that I was interested in from the apps that I was using. Like I said, I was getting on site and just was disgusted, and I was getting so upset. I took my camera to vlog, but I didn't, and I'm so sorry for that, but just take my word when I say what I say. I actually reached out to, it was one property that I was interested in the actual location, and I knew the location was a good area. The rate was really, really low for that area, and I looked at some of the pictures, and I was like, okay, I'm interested, let me see. And he told me to meet him at 5 o'clock to go and view the properties. So, saying all that to say, now the steps for applying. In Florida, from what I noticed, I'm not sure if it's everywhere, but most places require a first month, a last month, as well as a security deposit when moving in. I'm not used to that at all. I'm used to, at most, your rent, your first month's rent, whether it's prorated or not. Also, I'm used to maybe a security deposit, possibly a security deposit, depending on credit or wherever you lie with that. But this, what I noticed with every apartment complex for the most part, and every listing on Trulia, and even apartment list, like I said, that nitty gritty part, it says you need to have the first month, last month security deposit, which can be a lot of money up front, especially with your moving expenses. So I want you to take that in consideration when you're preparing to move as well, especially out of state, or like I said, especially to South Florida. So also there was an application fee. So let's see, the condo that I will be living and renting, leasing, there's the owner, and then there's the association. And I know I'm kind of running at this point, but this is probably going to be, I'll just talk about it, and then the next video I'll show you guys. my next steps to moving. So the property owner, the owner of the condo, requires, like I said, those payments. There's also, the condo is a part of an association, the community, whatever you want to call it. They also require a security deposit in case you do something wrong on the property. And they are the people that actually run your back. Well, the landlord or the owner of the condo that I'm staying at could have possibly ran my credit or did a background check as well. I'm just assuming they decided not to. They did run my credit, I'll say that, but I guess as far as the background check, they decided not to. But the property or the association, the community, HOA, whatever you want to call it, they ran a background check on me, and they did something else. I think employment verification, of course. They did that, and that took 10 to 15 business days. So this has been a very, 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 very stressful time, because you just never know what could possibly come up, or if they want to give it to another leaser or something like that. So today I actually got the news that I was approved to move in. So I'm so excited about that. It just really so much stress, because it's been 10 to 15 business days that I have been waiting to get the okay or not. And if it would have come back, that they didn't want to approve me, then that would put me at only having, a couple weeks to try to find another place to stay, because I stopped my search for it, because I had to give them a security deposit. I had to give them an application fee. The application fee was $100. The security deposit to the HOA was $500, and had already paid the landlord a security deposit so they could hold the unit for the potential day that I wanted to move in. So they knew I was serious about, moving into that unit. And of course, they're just holding it. So whenever I decide to move in, I would just pay my first or last month's rent, whatever. But I'll just say I had over, $2,000 just floating around, or someone's holding $2,000 of my money, and I don't know what's going to happen. So also I want to say again, that goes back to make sure that you have enough time in planning, because you don't know how things can go. And I definitely wasn't expecting a 10 to 15 business day hold up and stop and halt on my process. Of course, during that time I was still looking at potential units that if they say no for whatever reason, I can go and check out. So yeah, this is actually a really exciting video. So right now, as you can see, there are some boxes. I kind of slowly started packing, but I am excited. So this is part 1 of moving out of state, moving to Florida. Stay tuned for part 2, where I show you the steps of actually preparing to move. That means the packing. How am I going about actually moving all of my belongings from Atlanta, Georgia to Miami? Am I going to pack it all up in my car? Am I going to hire someone? I'm going to tell you the things that I'm going to experience with that, and what I think would be the smart decision as far as money. And yeah, so stay tuned.
Hi, sweet pea.
Hey, strong. You rockin' with style and beat.